welcome to our fourth and final stream of today, celebrating Global Accessibility Awareness Day. My name's Jess and I'm part of the Discovery team here at 3UK, and we have been live all throughout the morning here on the 3UK YouTube channel, showing off different device features, different settings and a couple of different apps that are aimed at helping those with different accessibility needs to make their phones easier to use and hopefully, make life easier as well. So if you have missed any of what we've covered so far, don't worry, because you can catch up on the Discovery playlist here on the 3UK YouTube channel. We started off this morning with a stream all around vision needs. So we had a look at things like display settings, voiceover or talkback, and the Be My Eyes app. Our second stream was all around hearing needs, and just an hour or so ago we had a stream all around physical or dexterity needs. So if you or anybody that you know has been celebrating Global Accessibility Awareness Day today and does have some additional needs and could benefit from making some adjustments to their tech to make life easier, go ahead and catch up on all of those streams. During this fourth and final stream, we are soon going to be welcomed by Allie from our 3 Live team. She is going to be covering some different cognitive needs and giving you some great app recommendations that are really close to her heart and that she really enjoys using with her own accessibility needs. So we will cross over to her in just a moment, but just before I say goodbye and I pass over to Allie, very quickly, like I said, I'm part of the Discovery team here at 3 in the UK. Me and the rest of my team, it is our job to help people to get more from their tech, learn essential digital skills, and to, just generally discover new things about their phones or the tech that they have. And there are lots of different ways that we do that, as well as here on YouTube. We offer free virtual workshops every single weekday. They're all 1 hour long and they cover a really wide range of different skills and different apps. So again, if you or anybody that you know, friend or family member or colleague, might want to pick up a new skill, whether that's something, that some people might think is incredibly basic, like learning how to send a text message or download an app, right up to things like photo editing, video editing, starting a blog from your phone, and everything that you might be able to imagine in between. You can head to 3.co.uk/discovery, and we will have a direct link below to where our calendar of events is. They are free, we think they're fun, and they are virtual, so you can join from wherever you are in the UK as long as you have Zoom. Okay, perfect. I'm going to pass over to the lovely Allie from the 3 Live team, who will take you through our final stream today, celebrating Global Accessibility Awareness Day. So enjoy.
My name is Allie, I'm a 3 Live presenter, and you can visit our broadcast on 3.co.uk/3-live. I'm going to be talking about some apps that help with my disability. I have ADHD and autism as well as other disabilities, and I use loads of different apps on a daily basis to help me organise, to help me kind of cope with situations that might be stressful or overwhelming, to help with sensory overload or meltdown as some people call it. And there are loads of different apps on there for a number of different ages. So obviously I'm an adult, I use these 3 apps, but they are suitable for younger people like children, teenagers, and all the way up to much older than me. So if you guys are not neurodiverse yourself, I'm sure you will know someone who is, and hopefully these apps will help your or someone else's that you know's life become a little bit easier. So one of the apps I love to use is called Smile and Mind. It's all about mindfulness, and there are so many different exercises on here. Now, I'm not a massive fan of sitting for ages meditating. It's not something that I really enjoy doing, but there are some really amazing kind of like short meditations, there's things called SOS, and they're something that I absolutely love using when it comes to sensory overload / meltdown. I know some people prefer to call it sensory overload, so that's what I would call it myself. So when it comes to sensory overload, it is basically, for those who don't kind of understand or know anyone that has any neurodiversity, it is essentially when the brain gets too many signals and you become really, really overwhelmed. So I like to use the SOS option. Now there are so many different ones in the Explore section. In the Explore section we've actually got all different age ranges as well. So we have adults, kids, youth, there's ones for families as well. The one for families is really, really amazing at meal times. So I have loads of siblings, all different ages, right up until like the youngest is just 1 year old. So we are a massive family right now, not kind of split across the country, but when it does actually get to meal times when we're all together, it can be really, really hectic. And I do have siblings that also are neurodiverse as well. So when it comes to neurodiversities, no two people are exactly the same, even in the same family, even siblings. So this is really, really helpful just to kind of wind down, get ready for a meal time, kind of settle. No one's too hyperactive, no one is feeling overwhelmed if there's a lot of people. There's also like bedtime exercises as well, things for weekends, like if you're preparing to go on a day trip. There's ones for school, using those in the classroom. And there's also ones for at work. Now, at work is really, really useful. Now, whether you're neurodiverse or not, these can be really helpful just to kind of like get yourself in the mindset for meetings, help you in the workplace. For example, if you have a new project and you're struggling to focus, these can be really, really helpful. Now, as I said, I'm not one for sitting for hours meditating. It's not my cup of tea. I am way too like busy. Just in general, my brain can't stay on one kind of task for that amount of time. As I said, I have ADHD, so it's very like, there's a lot going on at once in here. So what I love to use is in the adult section, there is number one, an intro to mindfulness, which is really, really helpful if you guys are maybe unsure of like what mindfulness is. Maybe you've never used it before, that's totally fine. So you can get a feel for it there. There's a bite-sized section. So you can see there's like introductions, there's body scans, which is essentially you think about like your head to toe, and then it just kind of like gets you in like the mindset for work or for rest, whatever one you select. And then there are ones for Thrive Inside. So Thrive Inside is something that obviously is very, very prominent just now with us being in lockdown. And lockdown, out lockdown, that kind of in-between stage. So we have one here which is SOS. Now for me, SOS is one of the most kind of helpful ones that I've found. It's only 3 minutes long, and it's really, really helpful if I do find that things are becoming overwhelming and I'm starting to lose focus or go into that sensory overload. Now, when I might go into sensory overload could be if I have a number of tasks on at once. There's lots of different sounds. I have been shielding, so I often find that when I actually go outside, I can find it really overwhelming if it's busy. So the SOS is really, really easy. It's only 3 minutes long. It is an audio only kind of like mindfulness moment or meditation, if you want to call it that, and it's completely designed to kind of bring you back down to a normal like working state. If you're starting to like have a panic attack or anything like that, it works really, really well for that. So that is Smiling Mind. Now, the next app that I'm going to talk about is something that would definitely be really useful for you guys that struggle with organisation, and it's called Brain in Hand. So Brain in Hand is something that maybe not a lot of people would like know about, and that's totally fine. So hopefully this will educate some of you guys on there. Now, most of these apps, I'm using an iPhone just now, but most of these apps are available across Android as well. Smiling Mind, I believe, is iOS only for the time being, but you can find loads of similar ones on Android as well. So Brain in Hand is something that I have found incredibly helpful in terms of struggling with brain fog, concentration and forgetfulness. I am incredibly forgetful. Literally, I used to stick post-it notes all over my wall and set reminders, and I still forgot everything. I would forget to bring things that I really needed, such as medication. I would forget how to like get somewhere on time if I miss the train, or basically if you guys are neurodiverse, or if you struggle with any kind of mental health condition such as anxiety, you'll know that often it can just be the smallest thing that will tip you over, and you will go into sensory overload, meltdown, have a panic attack. And especially right now, where it's very stressful, it can often be just the smallest thing that will kind of overwhelm me. So for things like morning routine, I have on Brain in Hand, this is the getting up section. So there's loads and loads of different ones. You can set your own. These are just some of the templates. So for example, there's problems on there like I've overslept. So if you've overslept, you tap into that and then you can check online for a later train. It also links you to all these apps as well. So for example, if you're trying to find directions, it'll take you into Google Maps or whatever Maps app it is that you use. Email my manager to let them know that I'm running late. There's so many different options on there. And you or your carer, parent, guardian, whoever it is, friend that you trust, you can go through all of those and add those in. This is really suitable for any age range, and I would definitely say it's probably the one that I use most often in terms of organisation. And a lot of people don't know about it as well, so it's really, really helpful. There's things like making a cup of tea, can't remember the order, so it's written down in a list for me, and this might seem as if these are like really self-explanatory tasks. But see, if you are neurodiverse or if you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed, sometimes the simplest of things like making a cup of tea is really stressful, and it can be something that would completely throw off my day. For example, if there's no milk, it will totally throw off my day and I don't know what to do. And it's things like these that can actually make the biggest difference, just having it written down. So leaving on time, we've got like things to do, what to pack. As I said, I'm one for forgetting my medication, so I find this incredibly helpful because it just, I take a lot of medication, so it just has a little list for me. We've got things like at work, if you're getting a new task, you're finding it overwhelming. There's just so many different options. Walking from the bus to work or vice versa. We've got things like evening classes, free time, what you've got to do if you've got a heavy load of washing, so like what order the like washing up liquid and things goes in, and then your bedtime routine. So there's ones like for taking medication, making sure that you have your alarm set, and these are all things that I would forget literally if it wasn't for Brain in Hand. It really is like having my brain in my hand, it's so good. We've also got things that maybe aren't in your routine, so I know this is where I can feel slightly overwhelmed. So if something does happen and there is a problem that I've maybe not expected, as I said, I do have other disabilities, not just neurodiverse conditions, so things like losing and forgetting things, I honestly can feel so upset if I lose or forget things. It makes me feel as if I can't take care of myself, and it's a really horrible feeling. I know a lot of you guys will relate. So things like losing my keys, this has like a list of check my pockets, check backpack, phone my mum. There's loads and loads of different options on there. And also there's things like travelling, if something goes wrong, if the bus is cancelled or the train's cancelled or it's delayed. And then you've also got things like feeling unwell. So feeling unwell is probably the one that I would say is most relatable to me. As someone that has other disabilities, it can be quite often that I would take unwell. So this is all about feeling anxious in crowds, if I've got a headache, what to do. If you guys are migraine sufferers, you'll know that once something like that comes on, it's really difficult to even like think in full sentences to try and like get yourself medication. So it's all written down there. And also you can just show someone else this as well. So if you are in sensory overload, having a panic attack, anything like that, you can literally just hand this over to someone near you, someone you trust, and they can help you with it. So it's really, really incredibly helpful. So that is Brain in Hand. As I said, you can pick that up on the App Store, Play Store, whatever device it is that you use. And these are all things that I find super, super helpful. And I didn't know about until recently, but it has made my life much easier on a day-to-day basis. So the next app that I'm going to be talking about is probably geared to more like younger audiences, but absolutely you can use it as someone that's older as well. It's just this is kind of what I would personally use it for. It's called Tiny Tap. So on Tiny Tap there are so many different options for games. So if I just turn this round, you'll see. So on Tiny Tap you can play loads of different educational games. There are so many options on there. There's things for numeracy, literacy, there's ones that are sponsored by like kind of like kids TV shows and things like that, like Sesame Street is on there. So if you guys do have kids, or if you're learning yourself, or maybe you're wanting to like brush up on your knowledge, there's all different levels and age ranges as well. So for me, like I find this really helpful. As I said, I've got younger siblings who are also neurodiverse, and I find this really helpful to be able to if they are feeling like they want to use the phone, or I know that's something that kids always ask, can I use your phone? What games have you got? And I love giving them this because it's actually educational. So it's not just mindlessly staring at a screen. It's not like Temple Run or any of these apps. It's something that's actually going to help them as well. So with the numeracy ones, like, it helps with their counting skills and it's fun. So if there's not a game on there that you love, you can actually make your own as well, which is so fun. And I would say that's probably where it comes into, like maybe someone older might enjoy using it because they can make their own game, which is really good. So if you guys are interested in the language ones, there's ones to like test your foreign language skills as well. And as I said, there's one really for everyone. There's also therapy options on there too. So there's maybe like more mindfulness targeted towards like younger audiences. So that is Tiny Tap, and again that's available on both the app and Play Store if you did want to download those. So thanks so much for having me on to the Discovery team, and this is all part of our Global Accessibility Awareness Day, and my name's Allie. I hope you've enjoyed seeing all these apps being demoed because I love using these and they are kind of my top 3 picks. If you do want to see any more demos, we are on our 3 Live channel and also our 3 Discovery on YouTube as well. You can book in for sessions too. So thank you so much for having me on. This has all been about neurodiverse conditions such as autism and ADHD and apps to help. And I hope this has been helpful for some of you or maybe someone that you know. Thank you so much for watching and thanks for having me on.